Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're back again on another episode. Today, this is a very heavily requested episode from our Instagram viewers and supporters. We'll be talking about common hardships. So just for future reference, if you guys want to have an input on our future episodes, just head over to our Instagram, give us a follow, and then we'll put up polls here and there to see what you guys would like to hear. Anyways, with that being said, let's get cracking, lads. Common hardships. Who wants to give me a few common hardships that we have in our society this day and age? Thank you, mate. Just name a few, innit?
I'd say music. Music's a big one, especially the youth as well. I think music, fitnah with the opposite gender. That's the two main ones. Maybe social media. Those three.
Hardship, yeah?
Yeah.
What are you doing on social then?
It takes a lot of time in it. But yeah, those are probably the main one.
Okay, so we'll start with the first one that you mentioned then, yeah? Music. How does music affect someone's heart? He's gonna say
music is like I think it hardens the heart so much, and especially for young Muslims, right? The culture is now like everyone's listening to music, innit? It's hard to not not even like hear it when you're just walking about and stuff like that. But as for the heart, like it takes you away from like for example, if you're listening to music all the time, right? More often than not, your heart won't take in the Quran. Like I've heard some things like, music and the Quran can't be in the same heart. So yeah, I think music is a big fitnah, man, especially for the youth and stuff like that. Like in public schools, especially, like everyone's listening to music. Like, oh, have you heard that new track? Have you heard this? Have you heard that? And like it's tough for people, man. Well, it's tough.
Anything to that? Come on, I'm waiting for Ibn Qayyim said.
Ibn Qayyim said
his superior though, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, he said المعازف هي خمر النفوس. He said that the music is the intoxicants of souls. So the same way you see like alcohol or intoxicants working or affecting someone, the same way like music does the same or acts as a substitute to that. You get me? So like for example, when someone's drunk, like they lose all control of their senses, and they move like in a way like then it's not controllable. You get me? And so for someone who's listened to music for a long period of time, they will see these signs as well. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Just to add on to what you guys are saying, especially for someone that's aspiring to seek knowledge, they can't be someone that's into music, if that makes sense. Because as Asad mentioned, you can't listen to music and Quran at the same time. As Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, has a famous line of poetry. There's a famous line of poetry where he said, حب الكتاب وحب ألحان الغناء في قلب عبد ليس يجتمعان. He said, the love of the kitab, the Quran, and the love of music in the heart of a slave cannot be mixed together, basically. So you have to choose one or the other. And especially someone that's trying to memorize the Quran, or he has the intention to memorize the Quran, he has to choose between the speech of Allah or the speech of Shaitan. And then I think that's one thing that can put someone off listening to music, is they have a choice to choose between Allah or Shaitan. And whatever they choose, that's what's going to live in their heart, either the Quran or music.
And it has an effect on people as well. Like they start listening to like music about like all these like drugs and like women and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like haram, like interactions and stuff.
They glamorize it, innit?
And it becomes their like their vision of success is like these rappers and these artists and stuff. They want to be like them. So the stuff that they're telling you in your music is going into your head, and you're thinking this is all calm and this is all like this is the glamorous life and stuff. And that's what people aspire to want because they listen to music. And even you see kids nowadays, right? They listen to like like drill and stuff like that, like music about killing people and stuff like that, right? They want to be like them people, even though they're full-sucking it, like they're sinners, right? And they want to be like and the people from good families, right? They're trying to force this like road life and stuff like that, and like that's how music can like change someone's like mentality and like their way of life and stuff like that.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go.
I was gonna say there's this whole like argument that music's entertainment, like like they even took it to court or something. Like they were saying, we shouldn't ban this type of genre of music because at the end of the day it's entertainment. They're just telling their stories, whatever. I don't think people understand how influential music is.
Yeah.
So even though it's entertainment or the likes, people, as you mentioned, they follow the lifestyle. You get me?
Yeah.
So even though, obviously music nowadays, where we're from, well, even universally anyway, or globally, like music, it always like represents like the most glamorized stuff kind of thing. So even going to different genres back in the day, like it's just talking about love, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's not what life's about.
Yeah.
Only, you get me? And even nowadays, where we're from, like people are talking about, running a man down, whatever. That's the good side of things, you get me? But at the end of the day, like you wanna be run down as well. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't glamorize that or mention that. You get me? So yeah, even if it's for entertainment purposes or whatever, it's still very influential. You get me?
Yeah.
And building on what he said, like music, like all there is in it is just like fisk and like fahisha and stuff. But the Quran, like they're just the complete opposite. One's calling you to do all of this, this haram and stuff, and then in هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم, where it guides to what is best for you, and this is guiding you to the complete opposite. So like when you're listening to music, but you're also trying to listen to Quran, trying to study the Quran, like it's just like there's a clash. And like there's no way like both of them, like as you said, that statement is so powerful, like they just can't come together in what a person's heart. One's just gonna throw the other out.
Yeah.
And like if a person like he's listening to music a lot, then when he hears the Quran, like maybe like he found it frustrating because one's calling you to this thing, and then now you're hearing like the speech of Allah calling you to what's best for you. Like it's just, and then when the opposite is all, like say you're a person that always listens to Quran and you hear the music, like for example you're on the street or you hear it in a shop or something, you're like, this is rubbish, like it's irritating to you, like you just don't like it. So subhanAllah, that statement is so powerful.
Sure. Even it hypnotizes people kind of way. Like when you hear like a nice beat or whatever, right? You start tapping your head, you start like tapping your feet and stuff like that. If you listen to music a lot, right, that beat will stay in your head even when you're and the lyrics and stuff like that will stay in your head even when you're not listening to it. And it's called like an earworm minute or something like that. Like even just when you're doing your normal things, you'll start singing along to a song that's not even playing. And that's how like even when you're not listening to it, still has an effect afterwards, like during the and then say for example like you're praying and stuff like that, and like a song just comes to your head, or like it's just like the thought of it just comes to your head, or like you're reading Quran and the thought of music comes to your head. Like that shows that even when you're not listening to it, it still has bad effects on you. Like, and it generally like hypnotizes people. Like they're put in a state of mind that's like not normal, fam. Like, they lose themselves in music, and even it causes people to do more haram. Like how we mentioned, like people who listen to like drill and stuff like that, they try and get into his life, or like other things like talking about women, they start like chasing that stuff like that. It makes you do even more haram, and it like encourages you basically. Yeah. But like Mustafa said, the Quran encourages you to do good.
Yeah, and like one other problem is like they start like idolizing these people, like these people that are just the fusaq, like they're just filthy people, and like it gets to a point where it's like, for example, like I remember in school, yeah, there was like I'm not gonna say like who they are, but they're famous, like rappers, but like they started like a clothing line. Yeah, I remember brothers were missing school just to go to the pop-up shop, bro, like just to buy their clothing. I'm like, come on, man,
it's a cult, bro.
It's just
it just gets to a point where it's just like, what are you doing? Like, and
Fan behavior.
Yeah.
And it's ironic because the same people who idolize these people can't do the same thing with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You get me? Like people, like it's a cult, bro. Let's be real. Like if a certain individual puts something out there, for example, like you mentioned, like sells, I don't know, like a CD, bro. Imagine how many people would buy it.
Yeah.
But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with the Quran, innit? But how many people follow it? You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a difference between. I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a bad situation we're in. You get me?
Yeah, just to go back to what Mustafa said about people taking them as idols, and subhanAllah, it might sound like, wow, no, I'm not worshipping him, I'm just supporting him or something like that. But it might not look like, it might not say that you're worshipping him, but you actually are. Because I heard a story. There was one person, he was a famous person, and he was doing a show in some stadium, whatever, and then. You know how you get the crowd like lively and stuff like that. Like you start saying, "Can I hear it?" And then they start making noise. One time, someone was telling me, imagine, listen to this. Someone was saying, he saw that the person, the singer, he told him to start making noises. Like he told him to start barking. He told him to start saying "woof woof," and they start saying it. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's bad stuff.
Are these guys not like? Are they not thinking like this? My man's telling you to woof and you're woofing. And I was like, if this is not ta'abbud, then I don't know what it is, bro. If this is not worship, then do you know what I'm saying? Like, you might not say, "Oh, I'm not worshipping him," but through your actions and your speech, you are.
No, some people definitely get to that level where they're definitely worshipping, bro. Like there's like fan, you know what, like fandoms and stuff like that. I don't know if you know, yeah, but some celebrities, right, they have extreme hardcore fans, right, and they basically make al-wala wal-bara when it comes to this person, right. Anyone who hates this person, yeah, they're you know,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a cult, bro. It's a cult.
bro, it's mad. Like, subhanAllah, like, how can you have that much love for someone who first doesn't even know you, right? If they see you, they'll probably air you, like if they see you on the street, right?
Yeah.
And you have so much love for this person. All they do is cause haram and cause fisq and cause fawahish on the earth. So like, subhanAllah, I don't know how like they can idolize people like this, man.
Yo, there's so many like things that we don't know about. Like I heard some stuff about the music scene is more filthy than you think. Like, you know how these people, these rappers and singers, they have like these contracts that they sign, right? And the managers that signed them, I heard a lot of them, they're like devil worshippers, innit? And that's why some of their music, you might think to yourself, for us that, alhamdulillah, I don't listen to music, innit? If we listen to it, we'll be like, what is this nonsense? How people listen to it? Yeah. But I heard they put like some satanic beats or something like that.
I saw that video as well.
Have you seen that video? Yeah, they put like some satanic beats inside it where it can just make someone just as if they're worshipping the music, like they can't get enough of it. So like, even it's not as straightforward as I'm listening to it for desire or something like that. There's more to it that a lot of people don't know about. There's a lot of satanic
people
stuff.
say I'm listening to it for desire. Can you stop listening to it though?
Yeah.
That's how I know it's not even a desire no more.
Yeah.
It's like
It's an addiction. It's an addiction. That's what it
basically,
is. Yeah. It actually is. It is. I think it is an addiction. People are addicted to listen to music, and because it's so normalized, right? And like they listen to it. Like a lot of people listen from young, like and every day.
Bros, people when they're going to their school journeys or whatever, they just music in it.
Some people I know, like they can't go without silence. Basically, they have to have something playing, and more often than not, obviously, people are like that. It's just music. They're walking to school and back, it's music. They're on the train, it's music. The people when they're showering, they listen to music. They put like they get waterproof speakers and they put it in their shower. SubhanAllah. So it is an addiction that people can't go without it, and they people pay so much money to go see concerts and like pay for like music and stuff like that. And it's an addiction. It is. I think it is.
And it leads to another thing as well. It's not just I'm listening to music and that's it. It will lead to other fawahish, man. Like you just listen to music and it puts you in that mood, and then you want to go do something with someone else, or you want to do something with someone else. It leads to more sins, man.
Yeah, it's the gateway, innit?
Yeah, it's a gateway to more evil.
Much more sins. Yeah.
And that's why you will never, ever, ever, ever see a party or a club or anything without music, ever. You will never come across that. Why? Because first the music gets you in the groove, as they say, and then slowly gets you to do the deed. Well, okay, tell me about a party or a club that you know of that has no music in it.
I don't know clubs like that still, but yeah, it's true. They don't
A football
Same, I
club.
don't know as well, but still. Not even them. Look, even football matches before it, they have that. They do, bro. It's true. It's everywhere, man.
It reminds me of a statement by Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah. He said that. He said al-ghina baridu zina, singing or musical instruments leads to fornication. You get me? So So going back to what you said, it leads to fahisha and the likes. You get me? So yeah, man. Like if you see, like as you mentioned, if you see like any place where they're trying to get you lit, or they're trying to get you hyped up, like music is definitely an instrument.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, to resort to that. You get me? Yeah.
Okay, so do you know anything?
No.
Alright, cool. So how do we stop listening to music?
It's honestly hard. Like we said, it's an addiction. Innit? Like honestly, it's actually hard, and it's a struggle. May Allah like help the people who are trying to get away from it. But I think a lot of things that people need to take into consideration is that, first of all, guard your like prayers and always ask for Allah. Like as long as you're not leaving the things that are farad upon you, at least you're doing something that you're worshipping Allah and stuff like that. It'll be easy for you. And I think like I know what helped a lot of people is like, just one moment you're in the state where, okay, I want to leave music, just do the action there and just delete it all off your phone and like cancel your subscriptions and all of that. Honestly, just like you have to cut off all the roots there. Like when you, like, I don't know about you, man, sometimes I'm just in the mood, like I just want to change everything, like I just want to feel bare motivated, in that state where I do things
is
that
it at night time?
huh?
That's a common trend.
But yeah, when you're in that like strong like desire to change yourself, right? Just do things like irreversible, like cancelling your subscription, deleting all your music. Some people have like tens of thousands of songs in their phone. Delete it all, fam. Get rid of it all.
Free up that space.
Control A, delete.
Pay download on that.
Yeah.
And then you need that storage.
Because in that,
Yeah,
and even after when you want to listen to music, you're like, like I've deleted all of it now, like I can't go back. But then you'll thank yourself for that, and then eventually, right? Like also like don't hang around in places where you know there'll be music playing and like stuff like that. Like if like people a lot of times they play music in the car, innit? So like just turn it off, innit? Like sometimes you just have to do that action, just get it done, and then it will be easy for you. And also then I'd say like replace it with something, because a lot of times you can't replace it with nothing, right? A lot of times people have to listen to something. Like I said, people need sound in their ears.
That's everyone nowadays. It's very common.
It's hard for people to be in silence,
sometimes
right?
like in the Uber, they just have the radio on for just to have the sake of just having the radio on.
It's just a background.
Yeah. So what I'd say is, if you want to replace that void, I guess, with the Quran and like the Quran, maybe even like poems and stuff like that, like technical poems and stuff like that. That helps you to it will replace it. Basically, you're replacing like evil with good, and Allah inshallah will reward you for that. And if you start listening to Quran, it will make it much easier, man.
So listen to Quran, and if you can't, Student Sundays is there, innit?
Podcast.
Available on Apple.
Everything,
And
everything.
exactly, Spotify.
Yeah. No excuses, fam.
Exactly. So if you're trying to quit music, you know what to listen to.
I really think they should listen to Quran, wallahi. Because like, okay, let's say you don't know what it's saying or you don't understand what it's saying. Just looking at the translation, there's a lot, man. Looking at translation of the Quran, there's a lot. Like once you, because subhanAllah, the Quran is not just a miracle in its ayat, it's also a miracle in its the way it's recited as well. Like it's so, like we talked about this before in the other podcast, where even the non-Muslims, when they hear the Quran, they don't know what's being said, but they're just emotional, they start crying and stuff. So imagine you as a Muslim, you're listening to that, plus you're looking at the ayat, you're looking at the verses, what they mean, and you're pondering over that. No way you're gonna fall in love with the Quran, and you're never gonna go back to music, inshallah. That's why if someone's struggling with music, just like I said, remove everything and then replace it with the Quran, man. How can you not replace it with the Quran? Like real talk, like how can you not replace music with the Quran? What would you replace it with? I don't know. Other useless stuff. No, just replace the Quran.
What are you trying to say?
No, that would have benefit
Compared to the Quran is
obviously
nothing. I'm telling you, once you find the sweetness in the Quran, you don't want to listen to anything else, man.
Honestly,
It's Quran only.
that's true.
So we're saying to get rid of it, just replace it with something more beneficial. So Quran,
And eventually you fall in, like Abdullah said, you fall in love with that and you want to listen to that more. And eventually you stop like looking out for the latest releases of music and you look out for, my favorite reciter's made a new recording of this.
Alright, it's got this You know them ones.
What helps as well, having, like we say, always say, good companions as well, who you can talk about the Quran, and they don't talk about music, they're not discussing music, they're talking about Quran. Have you had this recitation? Have you had this? Have you had that? That will help you as well.
Yeah, just to follow on to that, like even on social media, like just unfollow the people who unfollow these artists, you get me? And that's what worked for a lot of people, because you don't know when they're next releasing, for example, so you won't be attached to that, you get me? So that's another thing as well. And just to add on to what you mentioned before, like keeping your fara'id and that, like inna salata tanha anil fahsha wal munkar, innit? So if you keep on doing your salah in your salawat. There was a mention like someone like he was doing a maddest of stuff, but he always kept his prayer. Like he must have been like in certain places where you and I would think like this is not a place for a normal Muslim to be in.
Yeah.
But because he always fulfilled his salah every time he needed to, Allah guided him away from that. So,
Exactly. There was like a famous like influencer kind of guy who used to make music and stuff like that, Muslim, but he left it. And I think one of the reasons he said is because he guarded salawat, like he kept praying. Like that's one thing he never let go of is his prayer, and it helps you, like, because when you're standing in front of Allah, right, and you probably feel so guilty, like that you're doing all this while you're standing in front of Allah while you're doing all of that other stuff. Like you're gonna go pray, and then you're gonna go back to recording music or doing all this other stuff, right? It makes a person feel guilty. So yeah, it's like guarding your salawat, like making dua to Allah, like talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it helps you. You'll feel guilty, and inshallah it'll help you to get rid of that stuff. Yeah,
and also just going on from that, the people who actually make the music, Allah says, وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فِيمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَيَعْفُو عَن كَثِيرٍ. It says whatever misfortune befalls you is because of what you've earned. So these people making, like, it doesn't even have to be music, like, it can be anything, bro. Like even making money off scams or whatever it may be, you get me? Whatever misfortune befalls that person is due to what their hands have earned. So I think that's very important to remember as well. Yeah.
Okay, just to touch what you said earlier about unfollowing artists and that. This also goes for like meme pages and that, bro. I'm telling you, because you never know what they're gonna post in it. They could post like, how to explain? Okay, let's say there's a beef in the music industry. The meme pages are gonna post it, and then now that's gonna fire something up in you to go check it out. Do you get it?
A lot of them sponsor as well and promote music,
they promote
artists.
as well, exactly. So that's one of the things of closing off all the routes of going back to listen to music. So just if you find it very hard, just unfollow those pages, man. So you won't see when the new release is out or any dramas in the industry.
Anything relating to it, basically.
Anything related,
exactly, it won't even come to you, basically. Yeah.
Well, I think Salah's a big one, man. Because the way, subhanAllah, the way it's spaced out throughout your day, like morning, evening, night, like it's hard for you to do a sin. Because look, imagine like you're with your boys, you're listening to music, and then you're like, I need to pray. And then all your boys see you go out to pray, leaving that fahisha to go pray, and then come back. Even they'll feel bad, like, to carry on doing what they're doing. Trust me, I'm telling you, Salah does a lot, man. Even when you pray in yourself, you're like, I'm actually going to go back to that. And just is a big, like, preventative. Wallahi, like, not just for you, for people around you as well. So always establish your prayer, man. Perfect it as well. Don't miss it and stuff like that. It won't just affect you, it'll affect people around you as well. Wallahi, I remember in my old school, subhanAllah, I remember at the start there's only a couple brothers that went to pray in the prayer room, like 3 or 4. SubhanAllah, at the end of the year it was packed. We had to get a new place to just fill it out for everyone else. SubhanAllah, man. Why? We all started from a couple people, even though they're still sinning, but it just made sure they prayed all the time. And all the other friends are like, SubhanAllah, these guys are listening to music but they're still praying. I'm on what they're on, saying I'm gonna go pray as well. And then they all started praying, and then a lot of them left off music. Slowly, bro, the salah, slowly. If you might not see it now, like, I'm praying 5 times a day, I've been doing it for a week, why am I not changed? It might not come straight away, but wallahi, it will come at the end if you just keep doing it, man. Wallahi, I'm being real. Like.
You mentioned something similar, like a couple people, they were doing some sins with this guy who was Muslim. Obviously, he every time prayer time came in, he would go and pray, and as a result is that he left whatever he was doing, and the people who he was with, converted to Islam.
SubhanAllah.
So it just proves, like, going on from your point, like how much just staying and sticking to Salah actually helps as well.
I think that one's a big one. Even subhanAllah, the statement of Ibn Qayyim is, wallahi, that's powerful, man. Imagine you have to choose Allah or Shaitan. Like, if any Muslim was given a choice between Allah or Shaitan, of course they would choose Allah, innit? That's a big one, bro. Imagine, because Ibn Qayyim, what did he say? The same quote again. He said, حب الكتاب وحب ألحان الغناء في قلب عبد ليس يجتمعان. The love of Quran, love of music in the same heart, well, it can't mix. You know what I'm saying? So wallahi, it's like you have a choice, Allah or Shaitan. Always ask yourself when you're about to do the sin, Allah or Shaitan. And wallahi, if you choose Shaitan, then Allah yasadik, man. Allah help you, man. Allah is scary though, because we can fall into it as well. May Allah protect us.
Even you know what it is, I've also seen like when people leave off music, right, they become much more content. I think music makes people depressed, man. Honestly, a lot of people, they listen to these sad tunes, right, and they think that, oh, I can confide in this person, like, I'm feeling the same sadness as him, or like, let me listen to it. But it makes them even sadder, bro. It makes them depressed. It normalizes that sadness and that state of like sadness, and it normalizes it. And so when you leave all of that off, you listen to Quran, you listen to stuff like that, like I've seen it, like some people feel much more content, man. They're happy with their lives. They say alhamdulillah, like they're just happy and content, and music drives them down. It doesn't help them, it makes them feel worse, I think.
Just think of it like this, you're a happy person, and then this artist released something about depression or getting their heart broken and whatnot. You listen to that, and how could you relate to that? So you have to just adopt it.
You have
regardless.
to force yourself to be sad. Naam,
you have to force yourself. Like that's the deception of music, bro. That's mad, you know.
Like, that's a good
it's
point.
true,
That's a good point. Say that awful. The rapper's talking about something that he's been through. You haven't been through it, innit?
And then you're feeling
But then you listen to it because you like him. You're forcing yourself. You're telling yourself, "Yeah, I've been through that as well." So you're getting sad for no reason. Well, like that's a big deception, man.
I've seen stuff like that. People are like, oh, this artist is making me miss like the ex I never had, or stuff like that. So then people say stuff like that.
I think it just guesses up like some kids like that have been grown up in good families. It's that side as well.
It's that side of music as well. The filthy
it
side.
depends like what music you listen to. Like it affects your mood. Like for example, if you listen to Joe and that, like I think it makes you aggy. I can't lie. Like that's the reason for a lot of violence and stuff like that. Like people think that, oh no, it doesn't affect, but if someone's like grown up watching all these drill videos and stuff, they're gonna like just want to try the same. You hear me?
Eventually.
Yeah. Even if they don't try it, they'll act like it. Oh, that's even worse. Like if you're not on it, don't allow it. Like what are you on?
They beg it, fam.
You know about that life, man.
Nah, man. Wallahi, Quran is a big one.
I say it's worse than alcohol, you know.
What,
I'd actually going to say that.
Why?
Because like you forcing yourself to feel this kind of way, like alcohol, it just stimulates, it like brings out.
But the hukum is different. The hukum is different.
No, I'm not talking about from a Shari perspective. I'm talking about like
as in like
as in personally.
effect.
Effect wise.
Effect as on a person.
Yeah, but you've never tried that.
No, but the thing about music, it doesn't take away any. The thing about music, but the thing about music, it doesn't take away any of your senses completely. But alcohol takes your whole aql away. It takes your whole intellect away.
People do mad things. People they die from. Ignore this guy.
But Allah, I'm extrapolating this so much. But you know what Ibn Qayyim said? Yeah, he said love is intoxicates more than alcohol, right? So if someone's listening to those, you know, those love songs that make you feel so
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
That could be worse than the effect of alcohol from that sense. But that's just called Ibn Qayyim, not me. Where's the conversation gone?
I don't know, man.
Let's move on.
It's you, man, talking about alcohol.
Wallahi, Quran, man, Quran. Wallahi, if someone just sits down and just makes a goal, like, yo, I want to do Quran, Wallahi, you will forget music, man. Trust me.
I was gonna say, a good way to stop listening to music is start memorizing Quran. Because you know, when you start to memorize, you're gonna have to listen to the surah repeatedly, so you can solidify it. And once you start listening to repeatedly and you memorize it, this is your motivation to move on to the next one. You won't even think about music eventually over time.
No, even if you try. Sorry, I cut you off now. Now, even if you try listen to music, hey, that was hard. I was like, the Quran won't let you listen to music, bro. If you memorize the Quran, but like you'll try it, memorize Quran, cool. You're trying to memorize a half page or a page, and then you'll listen to music, and then you forget it. And sins will stop you from memorizing, or remove your memory, or weaken your memory. So like, it won't let you, bro. It won't let you. You can't mix music and Quran in the same heart. This is something very big, wallahi. Like,
it's crazy, man. What's it called?
One more thing.
Go on.
Sorry, go on, do your thing.
No, you just go ahead now.
I was gonna say, you know how people get tired of music, like they listen to it over and over again, but they eventually get tired. They're waiting for the rapper or
to release,
or the idol to release a new album or something like that. Yeah, but subhanallah, the Quran, the Huffaz, how many times did I repeat that? The whole the ayah, bro.
So many times.
SubhanAllah, I heard a brother, do you know how he memorizes? He reads the ayah 300 times.
300.
300 times. Subhanallah. And that's how he memorizes. But yeah, that's just one person in it. But the Quran, if you want to retain it, the Huffaz, they haven't just read it once. They go over again and again, probably hundreds in it.
And they don't get bored
and they
of
don't
it.
get bored of it. They feel a sweetness in it. In fact, every time they read it, they see the ayah in a different way. Like it affects them differently. I was gonna say one of the subhanallah, I thought of this in it, so I don't know if any scholar said this, but you know how the Quran is the speech of Allah. Sorry guys, isn't it? This is my own ijtihad, mini ijtihad. But you see how
Turn his mic off, turn his mic off.
I just noticed it in it, because you know how the Quran is the speech of Allah, right?
Yeah.
And not anyone can attain its memorization. Only Allah chooses specific people in it. So I thought about why can someone memorize the Quran? Why can't they just memorize it and just leave it? That's it. They memorized it. But why did it always have to go over and over and over again? Keep going over it over and over again. Why? And I thought about it. I was like, maybe because the Quran is so great and so powerful that Allah won't allow you to just memorize it once and that's it, you're done. You have to keep going over it over and over again for your benefit, if that makes sense. Because it's so great, you can't just memorize it and that's it. You have to keep going over it. You know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Because
memorizing
of
it
how
once,
heavy it is.
Yeah, memorizing it once doesn't make you a hafid in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why you have to go over and over again. But
Yeah.
what's
But
the point
the
you're trying
fact
to
that you have to go over and over again is because of how great it is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They're saying that like your hifz starts after you finish the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing. Then that's when it starts.
that's when it starts, and it's a lifetime journey. It's not just when you do it 5 times or something.
Yeah, no, you have to keep doing it. Yeah.
I don't think you got the point I was trying to make. If stuff is insignificant, we'll just memorize it once and khalas, move on.
Yeah,
Like you won't have to go back to it all the time. But if something you're going back to it all the time, it shows that I need to actually like memorize this, keep it solid, if that makes sense.
yeah, I know
we
you.
got the
I
point.
know.
Because like there's some
Yeah, we went
music,
to-
there's some like songs and stuff like that. You memorize it once and that's it. You have it forever. But that shows it's something light. Like yeah, I can memorize that. But the Quran you have to keep going over it.
No, I get you now.
Do you get it? Quran you have to keep going over it because you don't like this is kalamullah. You have to keep going over
Even
it.
in the music one, yeah. Even if you haven't memorized it word for word and you're skipping some words, you don't care in it.
Yeah, it's just speech.
Just
like,
like,
yeah.
it's just speech in it. But the Quran, you can't skip ayahs. You get.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think we should transition to social media. Social media.
Wait,
The
what?
fitnah of social media. Do you want to add anything?
No, wait. Where's music and what? Social media?
No, we're moving on to social media now, innit?
What happened?
We just talked about music, no?
What about fitnah of the opposite gender?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Brother, we're gonna go through these, innit?
Oh, say that.
All right.
See these man impatient. innit?
No, because I mentioned that second, innit?
Huh?
Nothing.
No, I was gonna do social media because
It's
Issa
tied, it's
mentioned
linked.
about the
Yeah.
followers and that.
I think social media can be good and bad, isn't it? There's good from it and there's a lot of bad from it, I think.
So, what would you suggest people jump off social media?
No. I think you have to control it. I think to be fair, the best thing is to not go on it, but you have to control it. You have to control it really well, basically. If you follow all these people who are spreading like haram and like nonsense, right? Then all you're gonna see is nonsense. Because a lot of people, they spend hours on social media, right? So at least if you're gonna be on it for that long, at least let it be a bit beneficial, even if it's just waffle, right? At least not haram and fisk and like nonsense like that. So if you're following pages like music and like girls and whatever, or the opposite gender, I should say, then it's gonna bring a lot of trouble for you, I think. Yeah.
Definitely.
What was the question? Sorry.
About social media. Just talk about social media.
Social media is a dangerous place. You have to fear Allah when you're using it. I would just say one saying that people say in it. When it comes to social media, think of this line: "If'al al-khair warmihi fil bahr." Do good and just dash it in the water. Like just if you're ever going on social media, just go on, post a benefit or get a benefit and cut. This is advice to myself in it because obviously everyone struggles in it. But that's one advice that I'd advise everyone to do. Jump on, bang, drop a benefit or get a benefit and then cut. Or get updated by the lessons or whatever and then just disappear. Even delete the app. Even if you have to delete and download the app like 50 times a day, do that. Do it.
I don't know what it requires you to, but say that.
Bro, if you leave it undeleted, Jay, you're just going
Delete it,
to press
undelete it
it.
50 times, yeah?
If you have
he's
to.
saying, like, sometimes when you delete,
You
like, let's say, for
download it
example,
again like because you
Instagram.
need
Oh, to
something.
jump back
Yeah.
No. You just delete it. You're like, okay, today I'm
app.
cutting off social media. And then,
Yeah.
let's say a few days later, you're like, oh, I miss Instagram. I'm going to
So
re-download
it's
it.
in.
Like even during the whole
It's
day,
basically
say,
what he's trying to say.
even if you
it
get
takes
bored or
like
something.
50
Yeah,
times just do it.
Yeah, and don't forget to delete it because sometimes you end up deleting it and download it again. You download
Is
it
that
and
what
you
you
keep it
do?
downloaded for like a whole
are you
week.
telling me to
I'm
jump
just
off
saying my
social
mistakes.
I'm
innit?
confused.
I'm
What are you
advising
trying
people
to
my
do?
Are you
mistakes.
telling people to jump on social media, or are you saying that?
Not jump on like delete the
Nah,
account.
man.
I'm saying like just delete the app because when you download the app again, you just download it and then you're already logged in.
Yeah,
Well, what are you saying? That are you saying that people should delete it to go off of it, or delete it for a reason? Or are you saying because they're gonna come back on it? So what's the point?
Yeah, yeah. If they're spending too much time on it, just cut.
Oh, okay. So
wait,
minimize your time.
I mixed up two things at once.
Yeah, I
sorry,
don't
sorry,
know,
my
yeah.
bad.
So minimize your time, basically.
Yeah, minimize your time. But if you
Okay.
see yourself on it for bare long,
Yeah.
just be on that delete and download thing, innit? Just delete, download. Download when you need it, delete when you don't need it.
So what happens if you delete it now and then you're like, oh, I just saw a post. Let me re-download it.
Yeah, you download it and then
So what's the
No,
difference?
me personally,
I don't know, man. Just get into that routine, innit? Don't have your
Because then you're deleting and downloading it.
Instagram
Delete
or
and
Twitter or
download.
whatever. Always download it, innit? Because that's when you start to get into that rut. You just keep going low and low and low and low. This is my advice, and it's not even
I
that
think
important. but
if everything you're on it for is benefit, like for example, like Instagram, right? You can make it so that like all your posts are just Islamic stuff and like beneficial
Yeah.
stuff, right? So if you can make your Twitter, your Instagram like that, or any social media like that, then I think that would be best, because then at least if you're on it, you're benefiting a lot, and you take heed and you spread benefit as well. I think that's important as well, you know, spreading benefit, like Abdullah said, right? It can be a means of so much reward for you, you know, because if you think about it, social media reaches like so many people, right? One tweet, one post on Instagram, whatever, can reach so many people. Like you see like Instagram reels and stuff, they blow up, fam. They get so many views, right? And that can be so much khair for you. So I think if you like find that little trick and try and use it for good, right, you can get a lot of reward out of it. A lot of inshallah, a lot.
the algorithm's nuts, I can't lie.
Yeah.
Like someone posts something 2 hours later, it's on like 50k.
I didn't understand that.
One thing I'd say though,
I
right?
won't understand it, bro.
One thing I'd say though, right, you know, like, okay, one app that isn't like that you can't really control what you're seeing, right, is like TikTok and stuff. Yeah. I think I'd advise everyone like to get off TikTok, man. TikTok is
Alhamdulillah, I didn't
bad.
get.
Huh?
Alhamdulillah, I didn't get afflicted with the fitna of TikTok.
TikTok
Alhamdulillah.
is bad, bro.
May Allah protect us, man.
Yeah, but I think
Alhamdulillah.
TikTok is the app that you need to delete permanently.
Yeah, TikTok is something you can't be on. I think as a Muslim trying to be better, you can't.
Bro, you're gonna get someone to come and say, but you can filter it, da, da, da. Then what?
No, bro, it's hard.
TikTok you can't.
I don't think you can't
I
control
know
it.
people
don't
say
think so.
that, but it's very.
Bro, there's even people
hard.
posting Islamic content, right? Islamic stuff, but they have music in the background or like stuff like that. Like-
TikTok is a whole different.
Wait,
TikTok,
some people
nah,
might.
I
some
don't
We
people-
need a whole episode for
But
that
some
one.
people might argue, how come there's some people might argue, how come there's some da'wah pages on TikTok? How would you respond to that?
I know why. It's because if there's a lot of bad happening on that platform, they need to counter it. As
Someone needs to jump on.
Someone needs-
yes,
Someone or
yes,
some
not
people.
everyone. Would it count as fard kifaya? Okay, let's not make rulings.
No,
Someone needs to jump on to, because if everyone's on the app, and then people, it's like this. Look,
But
people.
this doesn't give you license to just make an account and start.
We're talking about established
I don't know, man.
da'wah pages, innit? Not random people just jumping on.
It's like,
It's like Sin Sunday, yeah.
No, I don't know, man.
TikTok
No,
is peak.
I don't know, man. It's hard to say, like, because obviously there is good, but I feel like with TikTok the bad outweighs the good.
Like by a lot, bro.
by a lot.
I think the good is this much and like the bad is so much.
I say 90 to 10%.
Not even, I said 99 to 1, bro.
Do you know today I was deep in it? Yeah, TikTok is actually one of the biggest fitness of now. You know, because do you know how mad it is? Like, I remember this wasn't a long time ago. Yeah, maybe like 5-6 years ago. Yeah,
Well, 50
Like-
years ago, what?
that didn't bang. Hey, but anyways, do you know that 5-6 years ago, yeah, people weren't on this like they were just on Snapchat like recording outside. Now people are recording dances in public, bro. How does that even, bro? There's no shyness, nothing. People on trains, bro. They're recording.
Now, I feel like TikTok's a
That's a
different.
mad fitna, you know.
I feel that's a different
And there's so many
dimension in a
that
sense, like.
it's like the younger generation are all doing it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
them
becoming so
dances,
normal. Yeah,
TikTok dances and stuff like
it's
that, bro.
mad. Wallahi, it's
I
actually so mad.
I
I
don't
was
even
deep in
think
it.
TikTok's real, bro. Like it's like it's an artificial. No,
It's real, bro.
It's an artificial. Like it's almost like an artificial dimension. You get me?
That is waffle. That is waffle.
No, seriously though. Seriously, would you see people doing them things there in real life? Like,
Brother, that's how peak it is. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
no,
how
but
peak it is.
that stemmed from TikTok though.
Yeah.
From this whole culture of making videos and
That's
stuff
how
like that. Yeah.
TikTok has affected a lot of people.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah, no, I agree,
Because
I agree.
now it's been so normal just to do these kind of silly stuff in public, and they just because they're gonna get a couple likes.
And then
And you see TikTok, you get you can blow quick on
Yeah,
TikTok.
yeah.
Because everyone's flipping bored on there, just swiping, fam. So what do you
And when
expect?
when you're sitting at home and you see that like some random guy
Not
shouting in the
everyone, but a
street,
lot of
right?
people.
Like acting like a Majun guy, yeah. That's funny to you, innit? That's funny for people to watch, but that in public, even if you like, if somehow you see that in public, right? You probably think, oh, that guy's making a TikTok video or something like that, or he's being like,
Nah,
he's
but
doing
you know what's
something for a
mad?
video.
Yeah? Like, let's say for example, someone shouted on the road. He's recording it. He shouts. It ends the recording. Everyone's looking at him.
Yeah, you finish recording.
That's what I'm talking
It's
about. How
calm,
people
man.
don't have
It's
that.
calm. You sacrificed it for a million likes.
Imagine
Man,
that must be so
man.
awkward, just walking away like, yeah, I'm done. It's just
Done,
it was
guys.
TikTok.
You can walk now. You can walk through now.
So another thing that I don't know why are we talking about TikTok.
I don't know, man. We're
Because
just
I
passionate
know-
right now.
Well, you know why I mentioned
Yeah,
it? Because social media, and also almost every single TikTok there's music on it as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
every
yeah,
almost
yeah,
every
yeah,
single
And
one.
also a lot of what do you call it, man? Unlawful interactions as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you can send DMs on TikTok?
Not even TikTok.
Yeah, you can.
in
but
social
even
media in
like
general.
that, yeah.
Or comments and that?
Oh, yeah, but TikTok especially.
No, I think it's worse on other platforms. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
Twitter,
think it is worse.
Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram is worse, bro.
Yeah.
You know why? You know why? Because it's public, right? For example, I'll give the example of Twitter, right?
Twitter's a mess. It's a
Because you know what it
mess.
is, right?
Twitter's a mess, fam.
People think that their sins don't count on social media, bro. People think that if they sit behind an anonymous account, right, on Twitter, they think that their sins don't count, that Allah can't see them, right? So they're
With their anime
in
DPs.
public. Like TikTok, Twitter is a public place, right? If your account is public, then it's a public place, right?
Yeah.
So all the things are still applying. So you're talking to women like freely like that, or you're swearing and you're posting music and all that stuff, right? You're gonna get sin for that, right? And people lack shame, man. Honestly, they have.
Yeah.
Some people have no high on social media. On in real life, yeah, they'll be the shyest people you meet, right? But on Twitter, right, they're like off it
That's
now.
what.
That's
Wallahi,
It's a
angers-
facade.
it's just-
You hit the nail
That's why
there.
whenever I see accounts that I feel like they're like that in real life, I just don't pay attention to them. Wallahi, because
They're not like that in real life.
I met a couple
They're
people,
not,
yeah.
let's be real, they're not.
be
Wallahi,
real,
they're
innit?
so vocal on the net, yeah. But in real life,
In real
yeah,
life, you
they're
bumped into me, you were like, oh,
Assalamu
boy.
alaikum. Like,
Okay, there was. Come on,
What are you talking
No,
about?
but even I want to even bring out like
Astaghfirullah.
public like free mixing and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think it's a big thing, and people like talking to interacting with opposite gender like it's nothing, right? These people are not your mahrams. Like you can't talk to them like the way you're talking to them. Like the people are like friends and mutuals.
Yeah, that
with the opposite gender.
mutuals,
Yeah.
oh my days.
Like come on, man. Like, and then eventually they get into the DMs and stuff like that, and then
And then it starts sharing
Yeah.
Jokes and
posts
that.
like honestly, I feel I get secondhand embarrassment, bro. Like when I see like that brother and sister interacting like it's a normal.
like their friends and that,
yeah,
and start
bro,
giggling
I
and that.
cringe, man. I
How
cringe,
was your
bro.
day, sister? Shut up, bro. Covered. Wallahi, like imagine someone did that to your sister. Be honest, man. What would you
Yeah,
do?
exactly, you get angry, fam.
If you don't get angry, then wallahi, your ghira is mashed up. Like, your ghira is
not
mashed
there,
up. Bro, it's natural for. Let me know even.
It is
yeah,
natural,
you
but the thing is, yeah, these brothers, right? I'm talking about brothers because I know like brothers. So I like this, right? These men are talking about they want a wife who doesn't talk to men. That no man's ever seen them, but they're talking to girls like it's nothing, right? Like, Allah Mustaan, like what do you expect from like how can you expect something like that when you're acting like you're talking to every girl under the sun, right? You know what
I'm not gonna lie, it's a big fitna though. Sometimes, wallahi, it's very hard. May Allah protect all of us, innit?
I mean,
Just a little advice from Ibn Uthaymeen. What did he say? He said, if you really wanted to talk to her, marry her.
I saw that there was like
If you really want to talk to her, you really want to chat to her, marry her. They could talk to her for the whole night. You can study a hadith together. Oh, how cute is that? Marry her, brother. Don't do that. وأنتوا البيوت من أبوابها. Go from the front door. You get me? Don't go around the window and that. You get me?
No, that's true. That's true.
Like, but sorry.
Sky, man.
This guy, he really jumped the gun, fam. Like,
Nah, that's a
Afwan.
good transition to our
Samihuni.
it's still.
about haram relationship.
Oh, is that the next? Lovely.
perfect.
Okay, so I feel like since you got the ball rolling, you might as well kick it.
But I left my boots at home.
Oh, shush, man.
Now listen, wallahi, listen.
Dry joke, fam.
Look.
The Astros.
Oh, is that a joke?
Now, just for that, don't let me speak, bro.
Yeah, someone else take the wheel.
You're on a sinman. You're on a ban for 2 minutes.
Nah, but for real though, wallahi, because social media is not, you're not seeing them in real life, innit? It's so much easier. Like sometimes someone can be sitting in their room, yeah, in the night, in the dark, by themselves. And they're like, you know what, let me just message this stuff. But in real life, you won't be able to do that because there's so many factors that play into it, innit? So that's why it's so easy for someone to fall into fitna on social media, because
Yeah.
it's just you and them type of thing, unless they screenshot and start
And
sending
there's no barrier.
yeah, it's just you, them, and Allah.
Exactly.
Only thing stopping you is literally just
send
clicking a
button.
button and
Yeah,
clicking the thing. Yeah,
subhanallah. All things stop you is clicking the button.
It's actually mad.
Yeah.
And you know what people don't talk about? Yeah, you see, if you do these kind of things, and when you do come to like real life situation, you're not gonna be that guy.
Of course.
As in, like, no, I'm not saying like the way you're gonna talk to this opposite gender. Yeah, I'm saying like in general dealings, like your confidence is gonna be so low because you're not used to like speaking to people.
Yeah, yeah. Because you know when you're texting, you have time to think. You have time to think.
In real life,
and
you
your
have to,
tone
it's
is
a
different as
conversation
well.
in real life. You're not
Keyboard
gonna
warriors.
type in your head and then should I say keyboard warriors?
Yeah.
Nah, that's that. I feel like that's a different story.
That's
bro.
people arguing like
yeah.
they,
I mean,
they get onto people.
As,
As in, as in like
for that, for that as well.
As in like, you see how people type a message and then they're contemplating if I should send it or not.
Yeah.
Keyboard warriors, they have no filter. They have like no restriction. They just say whatever they want.
Yeah. But in real life, they're not.
Real
on
life,
they're
they
not on
won't
it.
even say anything furthermore. They'll just look at you. Do you know
I was
that?
be like, Assalamu alaikum. Hey, start talking like, yo, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And they're like, yeah, I'm good. Like, it's so socially anxious. Like on the net, you're bare loud and like acting like you're that guy.
Because it's easy. It's easy.
'Cause it's easy. Just all you're doing is
Anyone
that.
can do it on the net.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Wallah,
in
you
real
can do that. I can fake a personality online, but in person, you can't. You can't.
You can't fake nothing.
Yeah.
You're right still.
life. You have to keep up, but you can't keep up. So, we didn't really talk about haram relationship. Why is it so common?
You know
on
what?
social media or in
Just in general.
You know what I think? Because obviously we live in a Western country, right?
Yeah.
Like mixed gender interactions is normalized, and if you don't do it, it's shunned basically, innit? Like if like obviously by the non-Muslims, right? If you're seeing someone who doesn't talk to women, you're like, oh, this guy's a loser. Like, he can't get girls and stuff like that. That's how it is now. And unfortunately, a lot of young Muslims have that mentality now as well,
Pressure,
especially in like state schools and stuff like that. Like what we went to, right? So like it's weird, it's ajib for you to not speak to women. That's how it is, unfortunately. So I think it would stems from like being too comfortable around the opposite gender, and then eventually, as like you get older, you have obviously you have friends that are girls, right, or like opposite genders, right. Eventually, you start developing, a connection. You start having conversations with them, and eventually, your heart will turn a certain way, right. And then that's how it all begins. It's just small interactions and stuff like that. Eventually, will lead to something bigger. And then obviously, when a man and a woman are alone, the third party is shaitan, so it influences them. And then eventually, that's how it ends up.
Yeah, and a lot of people use the excuse, I'm going to marry them, or I have intention to marry them. Huh? Have you heard that one before?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, it's alright.
Ittaqillah, man. Wallahi, like someone feel if you really want to marry them, look, you won't start talking about your favorite food or what you want to name your child.
What's your favorite color?
Approach the father, brother. You get me?
Yeah.
Wallahi,
Honestly, you have to fear Allah, man.
Yeah, that one's a mad thing.
And have some. Okay, even if you can't reach that level of fearing Allah like in private, at least have some dignity, man. Like, man. Well, I don't want to rant in it because everyone struggles in it.
Do a birthday.
Yeah,
dignity,
you see like some statements from like the scholars, like how they still feel like the fitna of women, like it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like there's the hadith is all like the biggest fitna like from Umar is like, I don't know the exact wording.
His woman,
yeah. His woman,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard out here, man.
Yeah.
Even I think
Wallah is hard. Wallah is hard. Whoever's safe from it, Allah's protected them, innit?
Even
Allah
I think
protect all of us.
I think
man.
Ibn Mas'ud was like, if he knew he had 10 days to live or something like that, he'd get married, because like the fitness, and he was an old man then, like, so the fitness is like mad. Even I think was it Sheikh Al-Albani? I think you said, innit?
Yeah.
Sheikh Al-Albani, like he fears for himself. So how imagine the youth, like
Yeah,
the
and he
younger
was 80.
ones, like,
What did he say? He was 80 something.
Yeah, something.
He's 80 something years old, and he still gets. I can't. Like, it's from manhood. It's from manhood to have desire for women. And you can't say it's from manhood to have desire for men. Like, that's haram, qamalud vibes. You get me? But it's from manhood to, you know what I'm saying. But it's not from manhood to, you know what I'm saying,
to have
the
haram.
haram way.
No,
I think
to have
that's
friends.
also another. I think
That's friends, title,
bro. That's a joke.
It's just so cringe, wallahi. Like,
Just ask yourself, like, how many opposite gender friends did you have, and where are they now? It's true. Where are they now?
No, but generally, like,
They used you.
no, but sometimes they come with the argument. They say, "Oh, I'm not attracted to them at all." Trust me, over time, shaitan, he's got tricks and
Bro,
flicks in his back
I'm not
pocket.
attracted.
Yeah,
people, a man
Rainbow
who's friends
he's a ball in his field. He's in a ball.
a man who's friends with the opposite gender, right? I think more often than not, he has one thing on his mind, right? Like, he's only keeping these women around him so that eventually maybe something may happen between them, basically. Otherwise, like, he would.
Well, I think of it like this, yeah. Apart from okay, let's say a guy and a girl, yeah, they want to be friends. For what reason? Oh, they know how to speak to me and that. Brother, whatever they can offer that isn't physical, like how
Yeah.
a guy could offer.
Trust me, yeah.
You want to talk about, what do you want to talk about? Flowers? No, but seriously, like, what do you want to talk about?
Forget that.
You want to
No,
be
'cause
confident. You want to be confident like a little baby.
Nah, but sometimes they want someone to understand them, innit? You know what I'm saying?
No, that's
A'udhu billah, you
that's for the-
rejected
that's for the
Allah.
wife, man. That's
You
for the
rejected
wife.
Allah for this girl. Wallah, that's another thing as well.
Oh,
we mentioned. A'udhu billah.
No, we're talking
Wallah, I had little vibes there. Sorry.
No, man. We're talking about
Listen.
both genders, innit?
No, but the thing is,
interacting with guys and guys interacting with
yeah.
girls.
Oh yeah, true. It works for the women as well.
No, but the thing is not just male.
Barakallah fi.
Not
But you
thinking
know,
about you guys.
shouldn't be. I'm joking. Hey, listen, look. You know, you know how I made a comparison between the Quran and music, even though you can't compare the two. You have to choose one or the other. This is the same with women as well, opposite gender. You would choose them or you choosing Allah. So imagine sometimes they're like, oh, but I really didn't know. I'm really, you know what I'm saying? I really want to marry her. Da-da-da. Talking to her in a haram way. Ak or sister. Them or Allah. Wallahi, the choice is yours. Them or Allah. That's it.
Exactly.
And day of judgment, don't say, oh, but I was in my feet. No, them or Allah. That's it. Done. Then that's it.
How did you get? That's the thing. How did you get to the in my feelings part?
It's
It's with the
doors. You
intellect.
open doors. Yeah, you like.
As soon as you open that door,
How does someone end up doing zina? How does it start off with?
it's small talk.
As friends.
Oh, the eyes.
I've never seen. Okay, maybe there's a blind person that done zina. Allah alam. But the probability is low.
What's that?
The gateway to the heart is the
Yes,
eyes and the
it
ears.
is.
Nah. But listen, look,
music.
music as well.
Let's mention that one after music.
Sahih.
Anyways, go on.
But look, wallahi, look. Whenever you cut something off from its roots, it can never reach the branches ever. So look, say you see a woman,
It's a bang.
or say a woman.
Say it again. Man. Say it again.
That's a real.
I can't remember what I said. What did I say?
Cut the
Anyways.
roots, then can't get to the branches.
If you cut it off
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the roots.
Whenever you cut something from the roots, it will never reach the branches ever. So let's say you're a sister or brother, and you somehow seen a person, yeah, or you had one small interaction. Stop it from there. Once you let your thoughts eat your other thoughts, like once you let your thoughts eat your, you know what I mean, your actual intellect, because you know how feelings they sometimes take over the intellect, and that's why people do mad stuff. Once you let the thoughts pile up, then wallahi, it's gonna be sad. لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. Don't follow the footsteps of shaitan. Slowly, even though you might say, nah, I'm not on that, I would never do that.
That's
Wallahi,
the biggest deception.
over time shaitan will snatch you. He does the same tactic to Bani Adam since the Prophet Nuh, since his time till now. He uses time to get to people. How the people of Lut, Nuh, used to worship the idols. They didn't start off, one day let's just build idols, worship them. No, first they started off, let's just remember them.
Yeah,
Let's just go around. Let's just give them, I don't know, flowers or whatever. Slowly, over time. Fam, and no one ever does zina straight away. There's always a build up. Always a build up.
Yeah, it's true.
Always a build up. Always, wallahi.
No, I understand.
So that's why you should cut off from the roots.
Allah says, لا, was it? لا تقربوا الزنا.
ولا تقربوا الزنا.
Don't come near. Don't even come near it. Like, stay far away from it. And if you're interacting, you might not see it. That's what you have to tell. You have to educate yourself now on it. You might not see it while you're just talking. Like, you just answer. It's an innocent conversation, right? Eventually, you're having more conversations. You're spending the whole night speaking to her.
Exactly.
Eventually, you're gonna get feelings, man. Don't think too high of yourself, man. Men are weak when it comes to women, right?
Yeah.
Men are weak, so you have to protect yourself completely from that. And I think it comes a lot from you have to discipline yourself as well.
وخلق الإنسان ضعيفا. Wallahi, we've created mankind weak. Wallahi, and I think Hassan al-Basri, if I'm not mistaken, he mentioned this. He said from this ayah, he said this ayah of explanation of this ayah, he said, if a man saw a woman walking by, he knows himself there's no benefit in looking at her, he will still look at her. Why? From this ayah, that's how weak men are. Wallahi, like, it's this woman just walking past, he knows there's no benefit looking at her at all whatsoever. It doesn't increase in taqwa, anything, literally, dunya, akhirah, nothing. But they'll still lay his eyes on her. Like, he knows no benefit. That shows the weakness of mankind. The weakness.
Mad.
What's the solution then? How do you stay away from it?
فعليكم الصيام الصوم.
Get married if you can't fast.
من استطاع منكم الباءة
I think that's
فليتزوج.
another thing as well. Like,
Now let's not talk about marriage though, innit?
So next time,
If you guys want to see that episode, let us know, innit?
Yeah,
And get a
yeah.
couple features and that.
If I want married guys talking about marriage.
What was he saying?
How to solve it.
Yeah, how do we solve?
Obviously, there's number one from the hadith. من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج. Get married, innit? If you're able to, financially and physically. And there's tafsil to it, of course, innit? But obviously, the asal is get married. But if you can't, obviously, young, broke, busy, then what did the Prophet advise you to do?
Fast.
Siyam,
Because
to
fasting weakens the desires, isn't it?
fasting weakens the desire so much. Wallahi, it weakens it so much. And I know it's hard, it's summer right now, and hours are long. But alhamdulillah, you won't feel that desire much, you know.
I think small benefit really is like you're fasting in the summer, right? If you change your mentality, I think it's important to change your mentality when it comes to these things, right? Don't see it as it's so hard and the hours are long and it's hot. Think of it as so much more reward because I'm struggling more and the hours are long. I'm fasting for a longer amount of time. You're gonna get more reward for that. Just a quick thing I wanted to mention.
It should be gassed that is long hours, alhamdulillah.
Anyways, I feel like I spoke a lot. Couple gems, couple interruptions,
Couple bad jokes,
couple very bad jokes.
very bad.
Moments of silence.
2-minute silence for that dead joke.
Anyways,
one?
Sorry.
we're gonna wrap it
Joke's
up.
over. Joking.
That was common hardships. Make sure you share this video with your friends and families. Comment down below if you guys would like to see that marriage and haram relationship episode. And yeah, follow us on Instagram and send us your suggested episodes that you'd like us to talk about. And that being said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.